Hey everybody, it's Karen with Food and Family. I want to make a cake, and I've been trying to decide what kind of cake I wanted to make, and zucchini cake is what came to mind. And to me, zucchini cake is just like a fall thing, and then we can have it any time of year, and zucchini is abundant in the summertime. But I was at Aldi a couple of days ago and I found some beautiful zucchini and I thought, let's do that. So I'm going to use a cake mix though, and I'm going to doctor it up and I'm going to add zucchini to it, and that's how we're going to make our zucchini cake. So cross your fingers it comes out good, y'all. Okay, so I am using a yellow cake mix, and I want to just put it right here in my bowl. Okay, so I want to add some ground cinnamon, and I am going to add a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. If you want to add more, you can add more. If you want to add less, you add less. That is up to you. I'm also going to add a teaspoon of ginger. I love ginger. And to me, along with cinnamon, I'm sorry, that's noisy. It's just one of those warm fall spices. I'm going to add some cloves. Now, we all know cloves can be a little bit strong, so I'm only going to add a half of a teaspoon of cloves. Oh, it's smelling, yeah, it smells like fall in here. And, but I want some nutmeg. Now, I know some people don't like nutmeg, and if you don't, leave it out. But I want around a teaspoon of nutmeg, but I'm going to do a fresh nutmeg. I've got my nut here. Y'all, if you can, use fresh nutmeg if you can find it. And since I discovered fresh nutmegs quite a while back, I quit buying that ground nutmeg in the can, the jar. Okay, so I want to try to get about a teaspoon of this, or as close to it as I can. And I think I'm going to stop there. That looks good to me. Might not be a full teaspoon, but it's going to be close enough. Oh, it smells so good in here, y'all. So I'm going to take my spatula, and I'm just want to stir in these spices because I want to mix in this cake really good. Now, you could probably use a spice cake mix and do the same thing as I'm doing here. But I had this, and that's what I wanted to use. I couldn't see going out and getting something when I had all of this available. Okay, so there we go. Now, I want some eggs. And y'all have heard me say this before, and I know many of you know this. On the back of the box, we're following the box directions, except when it calls for oil, I'm using butter. When it calls for water, I'm using milk. And I'm using 1 extra egg. My mix called for 3, so I'm going to use 4. So let's get cracking, okay? And yeah, I've had several of you tell me, and I try to do it, crack my eggs in a separate bowl. I'm just so used to cracking and dumping that that's what I do. My eggs are at room temperature. Raw eggs, let me wash my hands. And I'm going to wash my counter, my board here where I crack the eggs. Okay, so let's move all of that out of our way. Okay, good deal. Now, get back to our cake, right? I'm going to use half of a stick of butter. I'm sorry, 1 stick of butter, half a cup. Yeah, I'll get my tongue untied today. And I'm going to use 1 cup of milk. Again, I've let my milk come almost to room temperature. I let my butter melt and cool some so it wouldn't scramble my eggs. But I want a little extra vanilla in here. So I'm going to pour about that much. That might have been a half of a teaspoon. So we're going to give this a whirl. And I'm just going to use my hand mixer today. I didn't want to drag out that old heavy thing. And so I'm going to get this started. And when I get done, I'm going to come back. Well, I'm going to show you what else we do, okay? As you bring your beater up out of the cake mix, slowly bring it out and reduce your speed to low till you're almost out. And then you can cut it off and you've got almost clean beaters. It's so good. But you know what I want to do? I want to taste this to see if I've got these spices where I want. Now, I know it has raw egg in it, and I'm not afraid of the raw egg. If you are, then don't taste it. You know, that's really good. But I think I want a little bit more cinnamon. And I'm going to put about another half of a teaspoon of cinnamon. And I think that's going to do it. So we're going to give this another mix. Get that cinnamon blended in there. Won't take but just a minute. There we go. That extra half of a teaspoon did it. Let me wash. Okay, so we've got this mixed. Now, it's not going to be a zucchini cake without zucchini, is it? I had a zucchini that was on the larger size, medium large. And I shredded it on my box grater, grated it up, and I wrung it out in some paper towels. I just kept changing the paper towels and to get all that extra liquid because this is water and you wouldn't believe how much water came out of this one zucchini. But as you can see, it's just over a cup. It's a heaping cup. Now, it's going to add some moisture to this cake. So we may have to bake this cake a little bit longer than what our directions tell us. So I'm not going to use my mixer. I'm just going to fold this in with my spatula. I don't want to break all that beautiful zucchini up. Now, when I've made zucchini cakes in the past, and I've heard other people say, you don't get a strong zucchini taste. But and this zucchini is going to cook in here, and it is going to be delicious. And combine it with all of the spices we put in there. Oh my goodness. I hope you can see. Look at that lovely batter. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, I have a 9 by 13 dish that I've sprayed with nonstick spray. And I am going to pour this right in here. Now, I told you I had my oven preheated to 350. We're going to spread this out evenly as we can in this dish. Oh, this is so pretty, y'all. Oh my gosh. Why does something like this, a summer vegetable, make me think about fall? And I think it's all those delicious spices. Okay, so our box mix is going to tell us to bake this 34 to 38 minutes. But I'm going to set it for 38, and I'm going to start checking it with a tester. And when it's done, it's in the center. And normally they'll start pulling away from the sides of the pan when it's done. And when it gets done, I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you what this beautiful cake looks like, and then we're going to frost it. Yeah, I have taken this cake out of the oven. Can you see how pretty that is? Oh my goodness, and it smells so good. Now we've got to frost this cake. And don't frown at me, but I'm using a tub frosting. I was gonna make some homemade. I had everything to make it, I thought, except for cream cheese. Can y'all believe it? I didn't have about that much cream cheese, so that didn't work. But you know, that's okay. This is delicious, and we're gonna go, use what you have. Y'all don't go out and make a grocery bill just to make something. Use what you have to make it. Improvise. Okay, so I've opened this can of cream cheese frosting, and we're just going to plop it right out here. Now, I've got another can tub in case we need it. So let's see. I don't like to be skimpy on my frosting. I like to have enough. I mean, what's the point of having cake if you're not going to have frosting, right? I mean, to me. Okay, so let's get this spread out. Oh, it's going to be so good. Y'all hear me say that about everything, don't you? But I know it's going to be good. I have been, you know, I was on the radio show last night, and I'll have to put a link down in the description box. And the host, Will, brought up the fact, and we were talking about recipes and writing recipes, because y'all know I'm got my book number 2 out, and we're going to need this second tub. It's not out yet, but it's at the printer now. We're doing the final proofing and such. But anyway, we were talking about writing recipes, and have you ever done like he and I talked about, where you go through a list of ingredients? And in fact, when Stephanie and I were coming home from the radio, we got to talking about this recipe and what we wanted to add to it. And we could just taste it talking about it. Have you ever done that? I do. So, oh my goodness, this is delicious. But I want to get this other tub of frosting. Like I said, what's the point? Okay, so get on with this frosting. But I will put a link to that show down there for y'all, and I hope you'll listen to it. And that's my first time on there in a while. I used to go on real regularly, but y'all, I've had a lot going on. I've been busy finalizing this book. You know, Papa and I went on our vacation, and then we took just a short trip 3 or 4 weeks ago, weekends. We just made a long weekend. It was over Labor Day, and went to LJ. I'm still got to show y'all some pictures from there. It is just absolutely beautiful. Just get a little bit spread over here. Now look at this cake. And you know, if you wanted to, you could crush up some pecans, maybe, or walnuts. I bet walnuts would be good. And put them on the top here. We're not going to, but I bet you could. So how about, let's try a little piece. Wish I had a pot of coffee made, but I don't. Pop's going to enjoy this. I just want a little bite. Do you like the corner or the center? I like the corner piece. And we're just going to do a small piece. Looky here. Let me hold this up. I want you to see. You can see the zucchini in there. Can you see that? I'm going to try to get you a really good picture if you can't see it. I don't know if you can or not. Let's give it a taste. Oh, it's so soft. I told you it's moist. Guys. I'm glad I put that extra little bit of cinnamon in here because it needed it. And that zucchini, it's not a strong zucchini taste, but it does give it that little something something. Oh my goodness. I might have to save that couple of bites and make me a cup of coffee to go with it. This is so good. And you know, this would be so easy to make into cupcakes, little muffins. Set it out on your fall table, your holiday table. This would be something good for the holidays, I think. And football game, you know, this is football season. Make little cupcakes, set them out on your table, put them on a pretty platter, and let everybody come by and just pick it up and get them one and go. I hope you'll make this recipe. And if you do, let me know if there's anything different you would use, if you would change any of the ingredients in it. I love the seasonings I put in it. I'm glad I put in the extra cinnamon, like I said. The cloves, I just used a half a teaspoon, and that was the perfect amount. The ginger, I used a full teaspoon, and that just sent it over the moon. That ginger, just that slight touch of heat, the warmth in it. This is just all those warm fall, winter seasonings. Thanks for joining me today. And I certainly hope you'll come back. I enjoy having each and every one of you in my kitchen. And if you would here with me, I would cut us all a slice of cake and we'd sit and have a cup of coffee and enjoy it. But thanks for being with me. Please like, share, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget, hit that notification bell so you'll know when we post another video. I'll see you soon, everybody.